Welcome to Theme Park Films, where we talk about all the information you need about roller coasters and more. And today, we will be going over the history of Viper at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Viper was a steel roller coaster located in Frontier Adventures at Six Flags Great Adventure. It was manufactured by Togo and opened in June 1995. One of the park's most infamously troublesome coasters, the ride was closed for many different technical reasons throughout its operation, very similarly to Batman and Robin the Chiller. Viper was even considered to some enthusiasts as one of the worst roller coasters in the world. It was left standing but not operating throughout the entire 2001 season and was planned to be removed, even going as far as being removed from the website, park map, and guides. Originally, Six Flags Great Adventure's 2002 attraction was intended to be a direct replacement of Viper, but Six Flags later decided against it, and the ride received modifications to the track and restraints and reopened on March 29, 2002. After 2 more seasons, it closed in September 2004 to make way for elsewhere.
In 1990, Six Flags Great Adventure had 5 roller coasters, but due to the ride rotation program and the purchase of Batman the Ride, the park was down to only 3 by the end of 1992. Batman's opening brought the park back up to 4 coasters in 1993. At that point, a decision was made to buy a new coaster to get the park's coaster count back up to 5. Ultra Twister, the ride has previously been in the spot where Viper eventually went, had been located to Six Flags Astroworld in 1990 and has sent massive popularity at its new home. Because of this, the ride's manufacturer Togo was chosen to manufacture a similar attraction as a sort of spiritual successor to Ultra Twister that would also tie in thematically to the new Frontier Adventure section of the park. And after Togo viewed a prototype sit-down coaster at a testing facility in Ohio, Six Flags Great Adventure decided to buy it. Initially, the new coaster was supposed to be themed after the Oscar-winning 1992 film Unforgiving, but the market research done by Six Flags Great Adventure has deemed that the R-rated film was too dark of a theme for a general family-friendly theme park. So in the place they went with Viper as the main theme, a giant snake that lives in the southwestern desert.
Construction of Viper began in September 1994 and concluded in April 1995. Prep work for the ride began at the end of the 1994 season, clearing the remnants of Ultra Twister. One small structure which had been a part of Ultra Twister's infrastructure was left in place near the ride's entrance, and the steel building was clad in rustic wood sliding in to fit the new area's theme. The queue was designed to follow along the sidewalks of a ghost town. The new ghost town buildings built were elaborate set pieces with no real structure behind them. The area between the queue and the sidewalk became a southwestern desert, complete with cacti, both real and fake, and aged western props of all kinds.
Six Flags announced, "We've created a 3-acre fantasy experience. Guests will be transported to Old Ghost Town where they'll encounter the sights and sounds of the Old West and ultimately discover the venomous Viper, like Batman the Ride and the Right Stuff Mach 1 adventure. We've created the whole storyline for our guests to follow and enjoy. Anyone can build a ride at Six Flags. We build fantasy adventures." Then park president Scott Bernstein in the press release for Viper, February 1st, 1995. On February 1st, 1995, Viper was officially announced to be the public's new release. The documents detailed the theme and the various statistics of the roller coaster. Viper was standing but not operating in 2001, but Viper officially opened on June 2nd, 1995. Following the Media Day event the previous day in 1996, due to the uncomfortable restraints, Viper's popularity began to fade, and as a result, the line shortened. In 1998, Viper barely operated as spare parts were hard to obtain due to Togo's financial issues caused by surf research problems. In 2001, Viper shut down throughout the season, being considered standing but not operating. Following the closure of Viper was withdrawn from the official website, the park guides, and map. Six Flags planned to remove Viper that year, but it was canceled because Six Flags failed to find a replacement attraction that could fit the land occupied by Viper. In 2002, some modifications and restraints in the track, Viper reopened the ride, continued to be rough, and the coaster frequency experienced mechanical issues. In 2004, Viper operated with one train during normal operations on Labor Day. Six Flags experienced failed attempts of fixing the ride due to issues. They decided to cut financial losses and permanently shut down the ride. As for the queue, guests passed underneath the entrance sign and entered a Western-themed desert. This area featured many props such as the well, the cacti, wagons, and more. Along the way, guests walked past a village with a shade. Between 1997 and 1998, the site was home to a comedy show called The Legend of Venom Gulch, which would entertain guests while waiting in line. This show utilized the set pieces of the ghost town as a backdrop and props for the show, with a set of steps from the second floor where actors who could enter and exit stage area. Guests then approached the station, which reassembled and abandoned the Spanish church, complete with walls, arched windows, and a bell tower. It featured a state-of-the-art technology with a special elevator to the entrance stairs, making the ride handicapped and accessible. The placement of the elevator meant guests with disabilities could then wait on a regular queue line. The train shed featured the exact same exterior as the station. Once guests climbed a set of stairs, they entered the station and boarded the ride. In 1999, a portion of the original queue line was taken over by Rodeo Stampede, a breakdance ride, and by a German manufacturer, Huss. The area was no longer needed as the popularity of Viper had significantly plunged. Viper first train departs the station and makes a left turn and heads up the 88.6-foot lift hill. At the top, the train made a left turn followed by the first drop. After dropping, the train reached a max speed of 48 miles an hour and entered a 65-foot dive loop. This followed by a left turn and a Heartline roll inversion. The train then made a left turn into the final brake run before returning to the station. Now make sure you click into this playlist to get all the information you need about roller coasters and more. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the information you need about roller coasters and more.